Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Keys to Success for Music Majors. I'm Charley Roush, and I am a librarian at UTRGV. I specialize in helping with music research.
And my name is Katrina Roush. I am a professor of music theory at UTRGV.
So, welcome, everybody. Today, we are going to talk about something super exciting. It's the concept
Yeah.
of office hours and how to schedule consultations with librarians if you have any questions.
Yeah, so I'm just going to start off by just saying really briefly what office hours are, because I'm not sure that this is a concept that you necessarily get in high school. But in college, you see your professor for a class maybe 2 or 3 times a week. But then if you want to go talk to a professor outside of class time, your professors have actually scheduled office hours. And what this means is those are hours that they set aside to talk to students. So you may have a professor who says, I'm available Tuesdays from 1 to 2, and I'm available on Wednesdays from 10 to 11. And that means that you can go to their office at those times. Every week they should be there, and you can just go and talk to them. And sometimes you'll have professors that say, this is by appointment, or maybe this semester we're meeting on Zoom for office hours. I know I'm doing that personally. So if that's the case, then you can just if they have a set time that they're meeting on Zoom, you can just log into Zoom at that time and talk to them. Or if they are saying by appointment, you can just send a quick email and say, hey, I'd love to meet with you. I'm available. Give them a few times, and then they'll say, sure, come on by Wednesday afternoon, or sure, let's meet on Zoom. Here's a link. So professors do it a couple of different ways, but the point is that office hours are there for you. And those are things that we set aside so that we can talk to you, because we know that sometimes you can't get everything that you need or want from us out of class time. So they're there for you to come ask questions about class, come just get to know us and chat, or if you just have a quick question about the homework, or you're confused about something, or you have a concern, those are really good times. You can get a little one-on-one time with your professor. And so that's what office hours are. So you should have office hours in every syllabus you got. You should have those office hours. And if you don't, or you're unclear about it, you can just email your professor and ask, and they'll be happy to tell you.
Yeah, and actually, the library does a similar thing. Librarians also want to be in touch with students and make themselves available if any questions come up. So we're going to share the screen here really quickly to talk about how this happens in the library. So quick note, the library website looks a little different than maybe it did in our last episode and things you've seen last year. So it's a good thing. I think the design is a lot cleaner, and most of the functionality is exactly the same, although you may encounter a few differences in what some of your clicks look like or what the menus look like. So to get to this part of the library, which we briefly mentioned last week about contacting a librarian, you want to click on the services button at the top, and that's going to bring down a menu. You want to go to the section on the right that says Ask a Librarian. And we're going to click on that. There are multiple ways to get in touch with us, as we mentioned last time. You can call or text, you can chat, you can email, but specifically today, we're going to talk about meeting with a librarian. So we're going to click on that. And it's going to give you a little bit of basic information about how to set up an appointment. We're going to click on Schedule Consultation.
I like how that button's orange. It just pops.
Yeah, right there. Okay, so this is what the scheduling appointment page looks like, and specifically we're going to focus on research and instruction. Please note, if you have a question about our special collections at the library, there are librarians available in that department to help too. It's a great way if you need to do some primary source research, or you want to know about the unique holdings, maybe dealing with the area or the history of South Texas. Special collections has a lot of wonderful things, and you should talk to those folks if you're doing research up there. But if you're talking more general questions about maybe writing a paper for English 1301, you probably want to go through the research and instruction area. You can specify a specific librarian if you've worked with them in the past, or you can just hit no preference, and that'll show you all the different options for scheduling an appointment. Click a date you may be interested, click a time, and it'll walk you through how to finalize setting up an appointment. We're doing a lot through Zoom these days. hopefully we can get to a spot where in-person happens regularly and consistently, but just be in touch with the librarian you've selected, or hammer out the details as part of your scheduling process. The point is, you can meet with librarians just like you do professors for office hours. With these appointments or consultations with librarians, we can give you some one-on-one time if you do have questions about your homework assignments, or if you want to help get some help finding sources, or maybe citation help, or really anything about forming your topic or proceeding with a good sequence of searching and finding information you need. So that's the basics for that. I want to proceed here to talk for a second about why do we do this, though. I know, especially for maybe new folks, freshmen, college can seem overwhelming. There's so much new and different about how things happen. And, you've undoubtedly been developing your study strategies throughout high school and before. And so maybe you're on a good track and you feel comfortable with these changes in college, or maybe it's all new to you and kind of crazy. I know I felt like it was crazy when I first started,
me too.
and I felt like, wow, everybody knows the rules here or how to succeed here, and I sure don't. What's going on? And then I felt like I was behind all the time. But one of the most important things we hope to pass along with this Keys to Success podcast series is that you are developing as a learner, and you have to find your own path, your own methods that work for you. And among those things, one of the greatest things you could do is start developing a sense by reflecting of, what do I know and what do I not know? Like, you're actually thinking about your knowledge or your learning, and you're reflecting quite a bit. This is a very important thing to do throughout your whole life as you develop as a learner. Sometimes the greatest thing we can know is that we don't quite know something.
Yeah.
I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's very powerful. If you really identify that, okay, I'm not solid on this, that is not a weakness, that is not an admission of defeat. That is actually a very positive and strong thing, because you can do something about it. And really, a lot of the way college is structured is that it's asking you, the process is asking you to think about yourself in terms of, what do you feel strong about and what do you need to improve? You need to take charge of this process. You might not receive a lot of hand-holding from a professor or an advisor saying, look, you're strong here, you're weak here. I mean, of course you're going to get feedback, but I think they're assuming that you're going to start developing these skills for yourself. And really, that's something that hopefully never goes away for you, and you should feel comfortable and confident doing it. I think all the best strong leaders and visionaries and successful people out there are really good about understanding what they know and what they don't know. So when we're talking about office hours, when we're talking about scheduling library consultations, these are opportunities for you to identify, maybe I don't know something so well, and I want to do something about that. I want to build up that weakness. And so, yeah, you can read a book, you can read an article, you can ask a friend, but we're saying, here's another method. You can reach right out to your professor or to a librarian to get some expert advice on how to improve areas where you don't feel so strong. And so, trust me, we do this all the time. Your professors do this all the time in their own learning. And so it's kind of with a sense of joy and excitement that we hope you do this for yourself too. And we're making ourselves available so you can come talk to us. And Katrina kind of wants to maybe lead off of that thought into some other things.
Yeah. So you can think of this, you can think of office hours and scheduling consultations with librarians. It's kind of like another resource at your disposal to help you as your learning journey continues. I think that it's important to know that we, as professors and librarians and staff members and faculty, we want you to come to us and we want you to ask questions. And I think we need to be careful to not think of that as a bad thing. If you come for help, it doesn't mean that you're already failing. I don't even mean an F grade. I just mean you're not failing at life. You're not failing at being a student. If you need or want help, that's a very good thing. And so I think there's no shame at all in asking for help. and there's no shame in even asking for help before it's like dire straits, you know? So like, I think sometimes what I see as a professor is I see a student 2 weeks before finals saying, oh no, I see my grade is awful. I don't understand anything. Now what do I do? And it's actually really difficult to help someone at that point. I still want them to come to me, but it's better if you're like in week 3, like, I'm not 100% sure I understood that one concept. Maybe I'll just go to office hours and ask my professor to clarify it so then it's in my notes correctly and I can study better. And those things are fine. So you can be doing excellent in the class and still come to office hours. And we don't look down on you when you do that at all. Actually, I love it when students visit me.
Well, we might look down on someone if they're like, complete my homework for me.
Yeah, okay.
Please do all of my assignments for me.
This isn't tutoring.
Yeah.
Also, you shouldn't even do that to a tutor, I think.
No.
But yeah, like we're not here, like we're not like, oh, come by every time I have an office hour and like just, yes, of course we want you to, like Charley was saying, take responsibility for your own learning, right? And we want you to come, it's nice if you come to a consultation prepared with a question or something like that. Also, we sometimes just like to chat with you, but you do have to consider there are other students in the class that are also going to need help and things like that. So yes, it's not meant to be like, oh, I don't want to work on my own. Can you help me fill out the right answers so I get an A? That's totally not what we're for, because when we assign homework, we're hoping that you'll figure it out on your own, and that's part of how you learn.
Right. Well, maybe we want to hear your state of reflection. Like, what do you feel like you're doing well, and what do you feel like you need help with? That's kind of the question or frame that helps start off some really productive discussions.
Yes, it can really, really help. It can really help if you have already thought about kind of where you are, what you know, what you don't know, and then come to us and say, I don't think I know these things. And then we can help you with that. I think that's a really good thing.
And that's what we mean. Like, we never begrudge you that. That's it's a good, positive process, and you should never feel guilty or bad or in any way like you're doing something that's not just totally natural and a part of being a lifelong learner, really.
Yeah. I never look at a student that comes to me for help and think, oh, that must be my worst student. I never think that.
No.
I'm always like, oh, this person is willing to reach out. And I actually admire that, because I know it can be hard sometimes to kind of admit that you need a little bit of help.
Wouldn't you say that sometimes it's your stronger students are the ones that come to you a lot?
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely see students improving after they come to me. Sometimes I think it's a one-on-one environment a little bit. Sometimes, like, because I teach music theory and I have classes of maybe like 20 or 30 people sometimes, and it's a little bit hard to like get exactly get your exact question answered in a class setting. So sometimes if I have a student who's a little bit confused about like a certain resolving 5/7 chords or something like that, and they come to me for office hours, it can only maybe take 10 minutes and we work through a couple problems, and then they get it because I can like help them exactly where they are and what they need. So it's, I think, a really helpful thing. And I always enjoy it. And I think it really helps the students too. So please feel free to use this. Like I said, it's a resource for you. So feel free to come to us for help and get to know us. We like that too.
Absolutely. Just keep in mind, not everyone approaches every aspect of learning exactly the same. This is an opportunity to get things more structured on your terms, or to have a conversation about where you're specifically confused. So it's actually a really good chance to make things a bit more personal than maybe is possible in class. So we have some basic contact info. We're going to share that and then probably wrap things up here.
So this is our contact information. If you were with us last year, you remember this page. You can contact me. My email is on the top there. If you have any questions about the music program, or if you have questions about specific classes in your music degree, if you have more general questions about music research or library materials, you can contact Charley. And if you have general questions about research that maybe don't pertain to music, you can contact the research and instruction team there. Or you can just schedule a consultation if that's more to your liking. And then the email address on the bottom, that's just for our podcast. So if you have any ideas of topics you'd like to see us include this season, or if you have any suggestions or comments, or just want to share your own experiences with office hours, we'd love to hear from you. So please feel free to get in touch.
Sure thing. And everyone, I hope you're doing well. We're already a couple weeks into things, and hopefully the weirdness is maybe smoothing itself over.
It sure is nice to see you guys in person again.
Hang in there. we're just going to keep going week by week, and we're making it. I hope all is well, and we will keep doing these episodes. So hope to see you and hear from you. We'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, have a great day.
Alrighty.